letter was left with the body. Longlegs.
It's that time again, y'all. Longlegs website has been updated.
Talk about the mail, please, Mac. I'm dying to talk about the mail with you all day, okay?
Yeah, we've been on this since the website first came out, and we are going to continue to talk about Longlegs until its release. We just did a video on the new Trap trailer if you want to check that out, and also we got some Maxine reaction tonight after we watched the movie, so we're very excited for that. Neon, hit me up. When am I going to be able to watch Longlegs? Y'all, tag Neon. Let them know when can I watch Longlegs. Let them know we've been doing all of these updates for the website and stuff like that. I think they got to know, just so we can watch that movie early enough. But let's get into the new updates to the website right here, and I got the mic showing. Hopefully it doesn't show by the time I edit this, but let's get into it. So last off where we left Longlegs, apparently there have been no murders, no more letters for 10 long years, and apparently we are going to learn today that something has changed. So let's get into it, but check out all our other videos if you haven't already on the website updates, as well as our updates on the teaser and what's to come, and make sure you subscribe. Let's hit 31,000 subscribers today. That would be amazing if we can hit that on the first day of July. And our big goal for the end of the summer, which will be in September, is 50,000 subscribers. Still a long way for that, but I think we can do that. So let's get into a break in the case. So it says personnel at the Federal Bureau of Investigation had never seen anything like it. 8 murder-suicides connected by coded letters left by someone calling himself Longlegs. Special agent in charge of the Salem Criminal Investigative Division, Chester Chet Van Ader, stated, "We had to go back and look at all the old cases." So they're talking about all the cases we've talked about before. And by the way, code words being used, maybe some words omitted because YouTube age restricted some of the videos I've done before. So FYI, but you can check it all out at the website. I'll leave it below if you want to read it on your own time. Van Ader stated that the undertaking was particularly arduous as some of the law enforcement officers involved had retired, some are no longer with us. The modus operandi of the 1966 to 1975 killings was substantially similar to that of the new killing. It was an enigma, Van Ader recalled. We were all puzzled as to how someone could have pulled it off. Still, we had those letters, Van Ader said, which clearly pointed to the involvement of an outside assailant. The satanic aspect, well, that just made the whole thing even more sinister. In 1986, FBI forensic analysis confirmed there were no fingerprints at the crime scene from anyone outside of the families. Next, handwriting experts determined that all of the letters were written by the same hand. They were also able to confirm that none of the letters were written by the fathers or anyone else related to the families. The agency soon established that there were no links between any of the families involved. They exhausted every possible connection before determining none of the families were in any way related. We knew we were dealing with someone calling himself Longlegs, Van Ader noted, but we didn't know a whole lot other than that. There was no physical evidence linking Longlegs to the crimes. Van Ader expressed frustration with the case and its lack of credible leads. If not for the letters he left behind, it's almost like he was never there at all. The FBI agents were stumped. They knew they had nothing to go on. At that point, it was only a matter of time before Longlegs started killing again. So pretty much we know that the film takes place in the 90s. Like I've said before in the previous videos, we see that some of the forensic files and these pictures that are found through the website with the passwords are linked to 1992. It says that that's when they're dated. So this is 6 years prior to the film when they start to put all of these clues together that there was actually somebody else involved with all of these murders that took place decades ago. And I'm very curious to see how that's explained throughout the movie and all of these murders if they're touched upon, because in a new trailer, which we're going to talk about as well tomorrow, we see that Lee Harker is holding one of the letters from one of the murders that we talked about as well from the website, which is this pink envelope one, which had this little like picture with the number 9. And we see that the number 9 is a very symbolic number here alongside, of course, 666 and all of that because of the 9 gates of hell, something that's written in some of these books as well. So we'll get more to that when we talk about all of this and the symbolism behind it. That will probably come out at the end of the week, but we do have some more updates to the website apparently next Monday. So I don't know, should I wait? Should I just do the video on the symbolism and all that? Let me know what y'all think in the comments, but definitely something eerie is about to happen for sure. So now we get to the Bannister family. In the early morning hours of October 17th, 1987, 5 years prior to the film, responded to a call in the town of Crowley. There they discovered the bodies of the Bannister family, victims of an apparent homicide. The body of Mother Frances was found bludgeoned to death with a ball pen hammer in the family's kitchen. Her daughter Veronica was discovered in her bedroom, also the victim of a hammer attack. Family father Reginald was found in the garage, the victim of self-inflicted gunshot wound. The Mossberg 12-gauge shotgun by his side, and we see a picture of it right there. The deceased were remembered as an all-American family. Reginald, a roadway standards engineer for the city of Crowley, was also a decorated U.S. Marine. Neighbor Arnold Grote described him as a pretty likable guy. Francis, a food services specialist at Pacula International Hospitality, was a native of Bend, Oregon. 11-year-old Veronica was a popular 6th grader at Falsadale Elementary, an avid scholar and burgeoning piano prodigy. The decedents were laid to rest on Sunday, October 25th at the Visitation Catholic Church, where Father Gregory Dunn delivered the eulogy. Scores of mourners attended the funeral. Services director Martin Heap of Boland and Reed Funeral Home called the ceremony the most touching he had ever seen. The house of Dashwood Lane remained cordoned off with yellow crime tape for several days. Members of the Moller County Sheriff's Office joined a task force being led by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. FBI agents are said to have found a letter in a pink envelope at the crime scene. The letter, written in coded alphabet, was signed in ink, Longlegs, and we see a copy of the letter. So we're going to make a video where we go through all of these letters, all of these symbols, and just decipher it. This one was different because of the MO, said Chester Chet Van Ader, SAC of the Salem Criminal Special Investigation Division. This was the first case where the perp used a hammer. Law enforcement officers theorized Longlegs had grown bolder in his approach following his return to killing, enabling him to use a different type of weapon in the murders. So pretty much what we're seeing here is Longlegs has returned to the killings. The FBI is involved. There's a bit more of a approach to how they handle this. It's not entirely ruled off anymore. It's just a homicide and all of that. They really believe that there was somebody else that committed these crimes as well prior. So there's a lot of more eyes into these crimes. But at the same time, we also have Longlegs, who seems to be a little bit more relentless, aggressive in the way they approach these crimes. And I think that that's something that's going to be interesting to find out what exactly happened in this gap between the last murder Longlegs committed 10 years prior and now returning back to them. There's obviously some desperation here, I feel, from Longlegs to accomplish something. And we've talked about it in the previous video where we deciphered more of the website, is that Longlegs believes in rituals and magic. So I believe that something Longlegs was trying to achieve prior didn't really go all the way through, and now they're trying to do the cycle all over again. And this time they might be a bit older and maybe time is on their side. So their approach to this might be, hey, if we do it a lot harder and stronger, maybe this time it'll go through. And I think that's what Longlegs' belief system is going into this new carnage that he's doing all these years later. The next family is the Gaddis family. Edgar Gaddis, a compliance officer for the Hudnut Co., and his wife Ramona, a court stenographer, reside in the town of Cherry Heights, Oregon. Their 13-year-old daughter Valerie was a student at Henry Hagg Junior High School. On the night of February 12, 1989, Edgar is said to have killed his family and then himself with a carving knife. Valerie Gaddis' head had been removed from her body. A pair of kitchen shears protruded from the stomach of her mother Ramona. It was pretty unsettling, said Van Ader. One of the worst crime scenes I've ever encountered. I mean, these things are just getting crazier, gnarlier, right? The Gaddis family was laid to rest the following Sunday at the Church of St. Adalbert Bishop and the Martyr. The service was officiated by Bishop Errol Garver and was arranged by the Shondell family funeral home. Garver called the killings a great tragedy and pronounced them a terrible loss for the community. The bodies were found when the neighbor Lily Nindenfer came to the house on Chauncey Street to return a VHS video cassette she had borrowed. I knocked on the door and didn't hear an answer, stated Nindenfer. When I saw the door was unlocked, I pushed it open and went inside. What she happened upon was disturbing, to say the least. I haven't slept since, said Nindenfer. She immediately called the Wasco County Sheriff's Department. Deputies found a letter on the refrigerator. According to Deputy Rebecca Says, I knew what it was as soon as I spotted it, as Stacey suspected the letter contained a coded message signed Longlegs. Another letter. Of course, we're going to be deciphering these in another video, like I said. FBI forensic specialist Dr. Carl Maya stated that there was no physical evidence on the site to link the crime to anyone outside the family. With that amount of blood, you would think we find a shoe print at the very least. But there was no DNA evidence left behind and no fingerprints. We knew Longlegs was meticulous, said Van Ader. He left no signs he'd been in the house. The post-mortem examination yielded no additional clues. Van Ader retired shortly after the Gaddis murders, handing off the case to his successor, Special Agent William J. Carter, who we're going to see in the film Longlegs. If I have one regret professionally, Van Ader said, it's not catching the son of a bitch Longlegs. He's easily the sickest, most vile killer I've ever come across. Members of the Avedon Hills Neighborhood Watch believe they had a solid lead. Some neighbors recalled seeing a white station wagon with brown faux wood paneling parked across from the Gaddis house. It looked to me like a Chevy Caprice, said Len Matasek. Early 70s model. The FBI would not comment on the car. Next, we have the Horn family. But before we get into the Horn family, we're getting definitely close to the events of Longlegs as I see that the Horn family is in 1992. Also, the special agent that's involved in the case now is the one that's going to get Lee Harker, who was played by Maika Monroe, on the case. And I think that's going to be interesting to see why exactly Lee Harker is so resonating with this case, because that's the log line for Longlegs, that Lee Harker joins this case because she has a link to the case. And if you go on the credits on IMDb, there is an actress that is playing a young Lee Harker. So could Longlegs have had an encounter with Lee Harker and her family prior to all of these events, and that's why Lee feels some type of way about Longlegs and might know who that person is? But we'll discuss that more in our theory video, which will come out on the weekend. The Horn family. 4 members of a family were found dead on November 14th, 1992 in an apparent murder in Troutdale, according to the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office. Curtis Horn, an instructor of creative writing at Bramford Community College, is said to have decapitated his wife, Teresa, phlebotomist, and drowned their daughters, Mary, 12, and Kathleen, 9, in the bathtub. He arranged their bodies in the boiler room into a strange formation before walking into the garage, where he fatally shot himself in the head with a Smith & Wesson Model 686 revolver. And you see the crime pictures there, of course. A 8-inch chef's knife was found near Teresa's body. Dr. Grace Pittock, FBI clinical pathologist, stated the perpetrator used so much force the blade snapped off from the handle. An uncle told Local 10 News reporter Ken Landrew that the family had been dead for 4 days before they were checked on. Partially wrapped presents discovered in the dining room table suggested the Horns were preparing for Mary's birthday. The Horns had lived in the house on Hallbrook Drive for 12 years. Their neighbors described them in glowing terms. Curtis coached T-ball. Teresa ran the bake sale at St. Agatha's. The 2 girls had been star students at Tillicum Elementary. They were model citizens, just like all the rest of Longlegs' victims. The Horn family was laid to rest at St. Agatha's Catholic Church in a ceremony officiated by Father Balthasar Thorne. Services were arranged by the burial home of Greengate and Young. As always, a pink-coated letter was found on the crime scene signed by Longlegs. So we see that pink letter again. So I wonder if that's the one that Mike is actually holding up in the new trailer that we see. And it says, "Happy birthday," and of course the coded messages, which we will talk about. My camera is gone, but we will still keep going. But let's get into what it says at the end of this. But I believe that we definitely might be seeing Longlegs trying to replicate everything again for whatever reason that may be, and we'll discuss that in the new video, so stay tuned. Fellow readers, what do you make of all of this? What could have compelled Longlegs to come back after such a long hiatus? Is it intentional that he only kills families with small daughters? I have theories of my own, but welcome any questions you may have after reading through this weblog. Email me at info@thebirthdayMurders.net. Should we email them? We'll email them, and I might just include your questions, theories, and potential tips on the next update. Special thanks to Jackson Smith from Oysterville for sending me over some of the CCTV footage of a strange individual that marks the description of the man seen at near the Hesse murders back in the 70s. Could Longlegs be back to his old stomping ground again? Let me know what you guys think. But let me know what y'all think about all of these things. Why would Longlegs return after all of these years yet again? And it seems that he has come back as brutal as ever. I'm gonna email that email actually, and I'll let y'all know what I come up with and if I get a response back, because I do have some theories as to what Longlegs is trying to accomplish here, and I do want to go over the site again. Should we just go over the site again at the video tomorrow? Maybe a live? Should we do a live this week? Let me know what y'all think. I'm very curious, very excited with the way that this marketing has been going for Longlegs. So let me know your thoughts and your theories on where we could go next. The new update that's coming out next week. Can we make it on there? Everybody tag Neon. Let them know what we've been doing this whole month for Longlegs, talking about the videos and all of that. Tag my videos, share my videos with Neon to tag them. I really would appreciate y'all if we can get on Neon's radar, because we've been trying to watch this movie. So that would go a long way. So let me know what you think about the new updates to the website that Longlegs has provided. Why is Longlegs back? We are definitely getting more of what's going on in the film right now in present time. because we're in 1992. And like I said, I think that's when the film is taking place, where Lee Harker is now on the case here. And, you know, we still haven't had a connection to Lee Harker and Longlegs through the website, but I feel like could come next week, when next week Longlegs will be released. So we'll be watching that as soon as we can. But really would appreciate y'all giving this video a thumbs up, sharing the video, and letting me know your thoughts and your theories. But we will be sending our theories out to the Longlegs email and see what it gets us. So anyways, as always, that is going to do it for me on the road to 35,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button, notification bell. Let me know what y'all thought. Are y'all liking these videos? Should I do a couple more before the movie releases? Comment below. But we are trying to get to that 35K mark really close. Maxine tonight, reactions, reviews coming out, so stay tuned. But as always, that is going to do it for me. I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.